Manchester United 4, Liverpool 0. Manchester United win the Bangkok Cup. And yes, it's not a proper trophy, but at the end of the day, it's a pre-season trophy. And before people say, oh, but it was your A team versus our C team, Manchester United A team versus Liverpool B team in the first half was 3-0 Man United. Man United B team versus Liverpool's A team in the second half ended 1-0 United. So at the end of the day, even when we're playing our B team against Van Dijk, Salah, Firmino, Nunez, who missed the sitter, we won the game 4-0, and there's so many positives to get into. David De Gea looks like a completely changed player. His distribution coming off his line, he looked the full package today. Anthony Martial was brilliant. The counter-offensive football, always a threat on the attack. The first half defensively were a little bit iffy, especially with Delo and Shaw, the fullbacks. But the second half, Eric Bailly was on fire. Pellistri looked really, really good. There's a few players that weren't quite on their day. I don't think McTominay or Delo had their best game. Donny was quite quiet. We didn't get to see Garner or Meshbury, but the main positive is this is Erik Ten Hag's first game as Manchester United manager, and it wasn't an easy game. I know it's pre-season, I know it doesn't really matter in pre-season, but you've gone and beaten Liverpool 4-0. Pre-season or not, beating Liverpool 4-0 in pre-season is a fantastic result. And not only was it a fantastic result, but it was the style of play we played that was absolutely fantastic. Attacking football, we were such a threat on the attack. Every time we went forward, we caused the problem. I mean, that fourth goal with Eric Bailly, like, oh my God, Eric Bailly was solid defensively, and then he basically scored the goal for us. The run from Eric Bailly, the skill, but then to play it into Pellistri just some skill. The decision making from Pellistri to play it into Ahmad, and then a really good pass into Ahmad and a brilliant finish in Pellistri. That was a teamwork goal. You know, we haven't seen a goal like that for a while under Ollie. You know, that was proper team play, linking up 1-2 intelligent football. And the two biggest differences that I took from this game, and we will talk about Sancho in a minute because he was my man of the match, he was fantastic, was Bruno and De Gea. A lot of Man United fans had turned on Bruno and De Gea, De Gea's distribution, De Gea not coming off his line. De Gea got everything right today. It's a shame that he's injured, hopefully it's not a bad injury, but De Gea made some brilliant saves, came off his line, distribution. I mean, De Gea completely changed his game. But so did Bruno Fernandes. It was a completely new game from Bruno Fernandes. It wasn't doing those hero balls, those rash passes. He seemed calm, he seemed content, he seemed patience. And I don't want to criticise Ollie, but a lot of these players have a lot of good ability at Manchester United, but they haven't been coached properly in years. And we've brought a manager in that's not only a good manager, but a good coach, and he has a clear style of football. We were playing attacking, free-flowing, counter sort of football rather than sit back and counter-attack what we did under Ollie, where Ten Hag, even though we're 4-0 up, Ten Hag is still shouting instructions. There's patterns of play, there's styles, there was fluidity, there was tempo in this game. There was a bit of everything going forward. And JADON Sancho, for me, man of the match, he absolutely excelled. I mean, Sancho looked like prime Neymar out there today. The skill on the ball was brilliant. He could have got 2 assists, a good ball into Rashford. Rashford probably should have finished that. A good ball into Delo. I mean, Sancho mostly played on the right. I know his goal came from the left. And Sancho created 2 big chances from the right-hand side, skilled a lot of players. And I do sit here and I do say, I do think we need a right winger. I do think we need more attackers. But if Ten Hag wants Anthony, fine. But is it really worth spending 70 million on Anthony when you've got Sancho, Pellistri and Ahmad that can all potentially play on the right? I do think now that we're playing a more free-flowing style of football, Sancho will look better on the right. It came as no surprise to me that JADON Sancho was man of the match. JADON Sancho was our best player because Ten Hag plays the type of football that Sancho excelled in at Dortmund, where he can play wide, he can roam, you know, he's very free to do what he wants, he can skill set the ball, but he's also playing in an attacking system. And Sancho was creating chances off the right. He took the goal really well, but it was also just how calm Sancho was on the ball, the 1-2s, the taking the ball down, his touch, his control. I mean, JADON Sancho was the full package to me. I saw a lot of people talk about Sancho and Bruno. For me, I wrote down the standout players: De Gea, Sancho, Bruno, Bailly were my standout players. Of course, Martial again was fantastic. I was really impressed with Pellistri as well. I think Iqbal and Sudan Iqbal and Charlie Savage in the second half, really, really impressed. The only negative I take from the game is maybe the midfield. I think in the first half we lost the midfield battle. Look, Fred didn't look at it. I know Fred scored a fantastic weak foot chip over Alisson, which was brilliant, but I mean, honestly, you know, I think the midfield, McTominay didn't quite look right out there. We did lose the midfield. I think defensively, we do look a bit sus. I think Liverpool missed a lot of sitters. I think 4-2 would have been a fair score. I mean, Darwin Nunez, maybe we've dodged the bullet, but it is too early to judge on that. But I think the fact that Rashford and Sancho were interchanging on the wings, I think Martial was very, very good. And one thing I noticed was they were listening to Ten Hag's instructions. That Martial goal came from Martial pressing Ten Hag. Sorry, not Martial pressing Ten Hag. Martial pressing the Liverpool attack. He wins the ball, it goes for one goal. Oh, ice cold finish from Martial. We know with Tony Martial as a confidence player, Ten Hag will work on his confidence. A goal against Liverpool is going to do him a lot of favours. And for me, Martial and Sancho were honestly top drawer in the first half. So excited to see what Martial and Sancho can do. I mean, I think that front three was so fluid. What I noticed was every time the midfield had the ball, you saw Sancho, Martial and Rashford doing those runs. Every time the midfield had the ball, and they were just such a threat. I think, defence, midfield, the attack was such a threat, making those runs, and they looked so fluid in attack. And we know that the plan was always meant to be, because we didn't obviously get Sancho when we originally wanted him, but it's always meant to be Rashford, Sancho, Martial as a front three. And I know Sancho's been excelling on the left wing this season, and Sancho's been a lot better on the left wing this season, but I thought Sancho looked really good on the right. I think Bruno Fernandes had a good game. I think that pass Bruno made into Sancho in the first half was absolutely crazy. Bruno pressing in the box, Bruno being patient, Bruno being calm, a completely new Bruno and David De Gea, style, tempo, fluidity to Manchester United, which we haven't seen in a while. It was really good attacking football. People can say it's pre-season, don't get carried away, but it is pre-season. But what's so positive is we kept a clean sheet. We scored 4 against Liverpool. The youth did well. A lot of players impressed, but the most important thing I take from this game is that actually you can see a disciplined style of performance. You can see what Ten Hag's trying to do, and you can see that those players were listening and trying. Last season, those players were not listening and trying, and it's a fresh start for every single player. Even if they were poor last season, it's a fresh start for them this season. And there's so many positives to take from the game. I thought Varane was solid. I thought Lindelof was solid. I think, McTominay I didn't think was particularly good. I thought Donny was very quiet as well, but Sedan, Charlie Savage making an impact. PELLISTRI looked very very good as well. I saw a really good tweet, and I completely agree with this tweet. They said Jadon Sancho has been the best player on and off the pitch by some distance, and that should be no surprise when he's playing in his best role as a free roaming right winger under an elite manager in a functioning system. And I think we all said Jadon Sancho's second season syndrome is probably gonna excel next season, but with a top manager in a free roam, I mean, Sancho literally looked like prime Neymar. He was a different gravy. I thought Bruno was fantastic as well. So obviously the second half came about, and the first 15 minutes of the second half, I think we struggled. We were defensively pinned back, but that's what you expect when you go from your A team to your B team. I thought Malacia was good. I thought he was impressive. Didn't see much of him, but you could see his pace, his eagerness to impress, and he's playing with the weaker players. I thought Tellers was solid as centre back. I thought Bayer was fantastic, but Ambasaka didn't see much of him, to be fair. But Iqbal and Charlie Savage really diving in there, really good. And I said this in my watch along. I said maybe being in the Europa League isn't that bad after all, because we can actually see and give minutes to PELLISTRI, Ahmad, Iqbal, Charlie Savage, and all these youngsters that are pressing. It's a good opportunity for them to get minutes as well, which I thought was really impressive. And Liverpool's A team came on. Salah, Fabinho, Virgil van Dijk, all of Liverpool's best players came on in the 60th minute mark. And from the 60th minute to the 90th minute, we won that game 1-0. Our B team beat Liverpool's A team. And from that 60-minute mark when Liverpool were the best players on, maybe they underestimated us because we looked quite calm. Sedan Iqbal didn't care. Charlie Savage didn't seem phased. They had this confidence. And I think Ten Hag will be really impressed that actually when Liverpool threw all their big guns on, we were still pretty calm control. And that goal, that fourth goal, I thought was the best of it all because it was a team playing goal. The first goal was Sancho brilliant, but Bruno was also brilliant in that first goal. Second goal was a lovely Fred chip from brilliant attacking play. And the first 2 goals came from us making runs in behind and attacking play. And the third goal, brilliant Martial pressing, listening to Ten Hag's instructions. But the fourth goal was a proper team goal, an absolutely fantastic team goal, I have to say that. But yeah, that is my review of the game. Really impressive. Sancho, my man of the match, but De Gea and Bruno, I was super impressed by. Martial was impressed by. Bayer was impressed by. PELLISTRI was impressed by. Varane was good. Lots of good performances, but Sancho was the standout player. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. We'll be doing pre-season reviews for every pre-season game. See you next time. Bye.